Started out in 1974, primarily in real estate, expanded to public equities, private equity, funds, tech, venture, and all the rest, and also expanded globally over those years. I started out my career in the dot-com era, was lucky enough to have a couple of big hits and exits, and ended up just doing more of that. Did 11 startups, had 7 get acquired, 2 of them went public. 1 failed along the way, and 1 is still running. And in 2017, I started a deep tech fund focused on exponential innovation, investing in companies that could create kind of paradigm shifts for humankind. I think one of the things I failed to mention in the intro is that I'm actually looking for co-LPs in climate tech. So if any of you have experience in climate and energy related investments, we are kind of amping up our strategy as an LP, investing in a lot more of those direct deals as well as funds focused on that sector. And so if any of you are out there working in those domains, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're trying to level up and learn a lot more from other LPs that might have more experience than us. But yeah, as far as the family's belief is that, you know, we're trying to invest in highly resilient sectors and industries. It's partly why we've been in real estate for as long as we have and in public equities. But more interestingly, we're looking at a lot of new strategies, alt strategies. A good example of that is a company called RoboSig, which I had a hand in help getting started. But RoboSig is using a algorithmic trading approach in the FX market, trading exclusively in the G7 and generating a 15 to 25% rate of return in Forex of all things. And that's something that most family offices and most institutional investors actually don't understand. They don't understand Forex. They generally shy away from it. And Forex is really one of the largest markets in the world, over 7.6 trillion daily trade volume in FX, and about 30% of which is for investment purposes, meaning not just trade flows, but to actually make a buck on the hedge between different currencies. And so there are a lot of interesting asset classes out there, and some like that, if mined correctly, can produce phenomenal returns. In this case, RoboSig doing 15 to 25% per annum over the last 5+ years, and doing that on a sharp near 3, so about 1/4 the risk of the S&P 500 on average over that period of time, but with equal performance. So there are incredibly interesting ways to generate cash flow investments that are non-real estate and still do quite well. And I think part of what we're trying to do as a foundation, as a family office, is explore some of those less charted territories as well, because we've been in kind of the obvious sectors for so long. One of the other panelists earlier today said, in a good market, it's easy to recover from bad decisions, right? Because the market tends to lift your business irrespective of how good or bad the investment decision was. But yeah, in a good market, in 2017, we raised our deep tech venture capital fund. It took about 9 weeks to raise the whole fund. Now, granted, that sounds remarkable, but that's also based on 20 years of angel investing, generating pretty phenomenal returns as an angel in over 31 deals. And so when raising, that fund in 9 weeks, we were blessed and lucky to find kind of the right LPs and the right partners to come in, which didn't include my family office, because I specifically didn't want to kind of have too close of a connection there. I was trying to branch out and try something completely independent. And we were pretty fortunate to work with a large anchor investor out of Hong Kong that we also had been advising and helping as GPs for about a year in creating their own fund to fund. And having helped them establish a $500 million fund a year earlier, they came in as an anchor in our venture capital fund. So, those relationships, while they can move fast, they also tend to move slow. So we have a saying, slow is fast, because you build relationships over a really long period of time, but then they tend to be productive very quickly when you need them.
Join the Family Office Club by visiting familyoffices.com. We look forward to seeing you at our next live event.